Shalom, family. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Good to see you. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's see here. Okay. So work. All right. Well, we are headed into our second heat wave, y'all. I'm not looking forward to that, but it's coming whether I like it or not. So it's going to be starting tomorrow. Tomorrow for us. Okay. All right, we're going to get started in a moment. I'm just still trying to get a few things together in the background. Okay. Okay. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we can get started. Okay. Please give me a 1 if you can see the screen. Thank you. Okay. This is a news story that came out on June 30th, 2021, and this is from the BBC. UN Human Rights Chief calls for reparations over racism. All right. And they said what really got the study started at the UN was the killing of George Floyd. All right. So its new report also urges educational reform and apologies to address discrimination. The findings cite concerns in about 60 countries, including the UK, Belgium, France, Canada, Brazil, and Colombia. The study began after the murder of George Floyd, an unarmed Black man in U.S. police custody in 2020. The finding says protest over the Minnesota man's death and the conviction of a white police officer were a seminal point in the fight against racism. In a statement on Monday, the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Michelle Bachelet, called on all states to stop denying and start dismantling racism and to listen to the voices of people of African descent. The UN's report is based on discussions with more than 300 experts and people of African descent and seeks to push nations to take action to end racial injustices. It found that police use of racial profiling and excessive force was systemic in much of North America, Europe, and Latin America. The report said racism was the biggest problem in countries associated with the former trade of many millions of Africans for slavery. The findings conclude that in order to achieve racial justice, countries should make amends for centuries of violence and discrimination, including through a formal acknowledgement and apology, truth telling processes, and reparations in various forms. Miss Bachelet, I think that's how her name is pronounced, a former president of Chile, said reparations must not only be financial in nature, but include other guarantees to prevent future injustices. She said states must show stronger political will to accelerate action for racial justice, redress, and equity through specific and time bound commitments to achieve results. This will involve re imaging policing and reforming the criminal justice system, which have consistently produced discriminatory outcomes for people of African descent. Ms. Bachelet, she said she welcomes an initiative by the U.S. Now, I'm not going to hold my breath on the U.S. responding to her, because whenever these resolutions would come up where they would have a report or statement on what's going on in America as far as its Black population, the U.S. is probably not going to respond to this at all. They'll just ignore it. That's what they have done for a long, long time. Okay, so she welcomed a promising initiative by the U.S. President Joe Biden to address racial inequity, which involves attempting to level the playing field by treating racial groups differently based on perceived needs. Well, what she fails to understand is the reason why systemic racism is, and it has gone on all this time, ladies and gentlemen, is because of systemic racism and the fact that they gain from it. They are benefiting from us being on the bottom. That's why they don't want to let it go. If you kept them in power forever, they would keep this racism going forever. They would. So as long as they are profiting from it and they're benefiting and gaining from us being at the bottom and stealing our ideas and stealing everything from us, and then they put it out there and they get millions off of it, nothing's going to change. They'll keep this stuff going forever. But look like economically America's doing really bad now, and they can't seem to rebound their economy at all. And that is a huge, huge thing. If they can't get this economy going, America is as good as gone. It really is. Right now, it's on life support for real. That is a huge thing. If you don't have money going through your economy because people are working and they're consuming and, buying up the products, then you'll be okay. But that's not what's going on now. Now people are saving their unemployment money, the stimulus money, and they're just sitting back and say, I'll just wait until I see good opportunities out here and then I'll apply for jobs. Thank you, John L. But you know what? The UN has been coming out with these reports for years now on the US. Thank you, Maddie, the Hebrew, for the super sticker. Oh, I see one more. Sorry. Thank you 13 times also for the super chat. Yeah, I mean, all you got to do is just look at the articles that come out. America's not doing well at all, you know. But if you listen to mainstream news, you would think that America is on her way back to 2019 level, you know. No, it's all fake. But in time, they're not going to be able to fake the funk forever. Already because of Delta, countries are now talking about shutting down again. So we'll see what happens, especially from the summer leading into the fall. Michelle, no. The only two states that I saw that sued and were able to get their unemployment benefits back um, was Maryland and Indiana. Now, I'm sure there's going to be lawsuits in other states because they were able to get it reversed in both instances. So, yeah, you just got to look out and see if there are lawsuits in your state. They're not going to take long to rule. So, hopefully Illinois and other states will be coming up real soon. I hope so. Thank you, Black Cobra Ninja 5, for the super chat. Yeah, they are running on fumes. You got that right. You got that right. Yeah. See, I think when they reopened the country, they were anticipating a quick rebound, and it's just not happening. It's not happening. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, you're a conscious outlaw. You're right. I know people personally that have not gotten their income tax money, and they've been waiting well over a year from last year, 2020, and they filed electronically. So it's not like they threw something in the mail and did snail mail. No, they are still waiting for a refund from last year. Well, the reason why Maryland and Indiana lost they didn't really lose, but the judge made them give the unemployment back to the people is because that stimulus was signed into law. So it's a law. So when these Republican governors got up and said they are shutting down unemployment, cutting people off, they broke the law. They broke the law. That's why they had to reverse it in Maryland and Indiana. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, the IRS really is, and it's always been a bad agency. In fact, all of their government agencies are really lousy. Yeah. No, where did that go? I just saw it a second ago and already it's gone. Yeah, Pamela Greer. You're right. The motivation for reopening the country was all about money. They didn't care if the virus was still out there. They didn't care about people getting sick and dying. They saw how bad things look economically, and that's why they reopened the country. These folks don't care about you, and they never will. Just understand this. They're only concerned about their pockets. Historically, these folks are just greedy pigs. That's all they are. And if they're not making money, they feel like nothing if they're not making money. John L., thank you. My daughter's mom had the money she got from stimulus taken back out of her tax return when she finally got it. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. They've done so many dirty things, it's not even funny. They only give you a few crumbs, and you can see they don't even want you to have the few crumbs. They got a problem with that too. Yeah. Well, mhm. Well, I do know yeah, well, I do know these small businesses, there's going to be a lot of them folding. They're not going to be able to go too much longer without people coming in and applying for those jobs. They're going to have to shut completely down. They're not going to be able to hold on forever. And I think many of them realize that they're scared, but then on the other hand, they don't know what else to do. They can't motivate the people to come in there. And I think a lot of American people are fed up with working for slave wages because that's all they've been offering the entire time. But they'll call you an essential worker, but they're paying you crappy wages. Yeah, it's not really. It's Claudette, more. It's all industries that are struggling with a lack of workers. But yeah, I think restaurants, because you see restaurants all around us, and you can see their signs where they're trying to hire people, trying to entice people to come in and apply for those jobs. But see, everybody know restaurant jobs don't pay nothing. Everybody knows that. So no, nobody's going to run to that. You get at, you're going to get that job and be completely dogged out. You're going to be exhausted being on your feet all day. And folks are not down for slave wages no more. I for one, I believe this country should have been had living wages for everyone. Thank you, Randy Sinclair, for the super sticker. I think there should have always been a living wage for everybody. The fact that they didn't have it, here we are, what, 2021, and there are still people out here getting $11 an hour, $10 an hour. I'm like, what? I mean, that's outrageous. But the prices of everything keeps going up. Your rent keeps going up, right? Your property taxes keep going up, but that's what they want to pay you. You can't take care of no family on that. You can't pay your bills on that. I mean, that's okay maybe for a teenager, but somebody that's grown and got a family and got kids, that's not good. And who the hell wants to exhaust themselves working 2, 3 jobs? Then when do you get to see your family? I had some people come in I'll work 2, 3 jobs. Nobody can do that. When you got small kids, you cannot work no 2, 3 jobs. So the people that were saying that, I can tell y'all don't have children. You don't have no family. You probably just taking care of yourselves. It makes a huge difference. And you know how much child care cost? Child care costs a lot of money. Some people are paying almost the price of a mortgage for somebody, especially if you're going to a daycare center, you're paying a damn mortgage practically for somebody to watch your small children. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's going to continue to go up as long as these moratoriums are, out here, they're going to keep going up on rent. Hmm. I mean, and that's the problem in America. The wages have never kept up with the cost of living, which it should have. But see, these folks, look at how they started in the country, getting slaves to do all the work, right? And they have never stopped being that way. That's why they feel it's okay to toss a few pennies at you when you just gonna take orders from them and work your ass off all day, and to you so exhausted you want to drop. And that's what they like. These folks got this thing about they want something for nothing, and it's just not going to work out like that anymore. Yes, the gas prices really, Brian, you said a mouthful. The gas prices have exploded over this holiday weekend. They are really up. Hmm. Yeah, well, see, they can't even get the foreigners over here now. The Because of everything being locked down, they said the visas and green cards are all backlogged. All that stuff is backlogged. So that's why this summer they are not going to be able to come over here and work like they did the previous year. And plus, many of them came over here from India, and India is banned from coming here. And I don't believe that ban has been lifted. And then you got the situation at the border where they're all piled up around the border. It is a really messy situation when it comes down to immigrants. So, you would think they would be able to fall back on the immigrants, but actually they can't. Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people have been talking about immigrants. The immigrants are not going to save America from the situation it's in. It's not going to save, I mean, that's not going to save America. And like I said, America is not going to come back through a bunch of low wage jobs. It is just not going to happen. Yeah, it's all over. In fact, Joe Biden didn't even fill his whole cabinet. That hasn't even been done. But you know what? Trump didn't fill his cabinet the whole time he was in office. But then again, a lot of people came and gone when it was Trump. Hmm. Yeah, it's a disgrace. I know around here, and I know many of you might have heard, like when Walmart hire people, they will hire you and give you and tell you to, check out welfare, get on welfare. That's ridiculous. You shouldn't have to do that. Pay a decent wage. Hmm. Well, Deborah, you're right. It is prophesized to fall, but right now they are not willing to believe that. Really, they can find out everything that's going down if they would just pick up a Bible. They would know what was coming, but these are not, it is just not in their nature to do that. So all they're going to do is sit around you whining about what's going on, and if the country have to close again, they're going to be whining about the country being closed again, and that kind of stuff. That's all they're going to do. You know what, Marcus Keefe, Speaking of that, nobody wants the demonic vaccine. I read an article that said 15 million Americans got the first jab and never went back for the second one. 15 million people. I guess after they got the first one, they got scared. But that is how many people that never went back for that second jab. And I'm not surprised. I'm willing to believe the number is higher than that. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I know India said that. India said they had less people with the virus than after the shots were given out. They had more viruses afterwards. That's what they said. Yeah, 15 million, Ronia. That's what it said in the article I was looking at. They never went back for the second one. And in Pennsylvania alone, in fact, Pennsylvania published an article that I saw today, and they said over 1 million people never came back for the second jab in Pennsylvania. So, and they're trying to encourage them to come back, but I don't know how they're going to do that. I'm not surprised about that. That's why YouTube had to shut down people doing those videos, because it was just telling too much truth, that it was just causing a lot of health problems, but they don't want to, they don't want that out there. So that's okay. Whenever there's a good article, I'll just post it in the community tab and you can read it on your own. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Roy King, you're going to see a lot of that in the months to come. Yeah, I heard Delta is dominating California now. So we shall see. We shall see. Now, like I said, they're saying they're not shutting down again. I'm telling you, America will shut down again. They will. They will, whether they like it or not. Yeah. Nashawn, I used to get the flu shot, but my last one, boy, I think my last one was like in the early 2000s, and I never went back to get another one. It's been a very long time since I even got a flu shot. I just stopped getting it because, number one, I really don't get the flu that often. I can go a long, long years before I get hit with a flu. So, I mean, that I can just work my way out of that. I mean, it's not a big deal. I've had it and I've survived, but I just didn't feel it was necessary for me to go and get that every year. And I remember the year, I think it was 2017, where people were getting sick from the flu and they got the shot. And they said every year it's a hit or miss. They just guess what strain will be dominating that year of the flu. It's just a guess. So I don't even waste my time. I mean, in fact, I can go around the corner from where I am. There's a Rite Aid there, and you can get your flu shot for free. But I don't go over there at all. I don't go anywhere for a flu shot. Yeah, well, you know what? That is true, Marcella Muhammad. You know, that's why the Bible talks so much about fasting. Fasting is not just a spiritual thing. Fasting also can correct things that are wrong with your health. And that's why it was done so often. You know, people fast and prayed, but fasting really does your body a lot of good, especially if you're ailing from something and you fast, it will correct whatever's wrong. You know, our bodies are designed to correct themselves. We just have to know what to do. You know, so I mean, I know a lot of people think it's more of a spiritual thing, but actually, it's a spiritual and physical thing. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It does clear the mind. It's spiritual, and it's right. It's detoxing, exactly. So it's getting, you're just cleansing everything that's bad in the body, and you're just expelling it all from the body when you fast. And remember, there are some like cancers. You know, they thrive on you eating food and drinking all kinds of bad things, but when you fast, those cells will just die off. It's great for the immune system. Absolutely. Yeah, I watched Truth Unveiled this past, what was it, Friday? I believe Thursday or Friday last week. I saw he had posted, um, a new video, and I went out there and watched it. I watch a lot of people's channels. I just kind of sit in the background. I don't go in the comment section or nothing, but I like a lot of the channels out here. And, um, I think some people are shocked that I watch them and they're not big channels. And to me, the smaller channels are really interesting. You don't have to have a big channel for me to watch you. I don't go by that. I go by, if you're putting out good content, it doesn't matter if you're a small channel. I don't care about that. You know, as long as I can understand where you're going with it, or you're really with the community, then I'll watch you. Mm-hmm. Joel Ivory, you said I'm diabetic and I fast. Mm-hmm. Thank you, beautiful bronze goddess, for the super chat. Thank you. You have a nature channel. Oh, well, there's nothing wrong with having a nature channel. I don't believe we all should be talking about the same thing anyway. I mean, it's good to hear different points of views, but it's nice that, it's a nice variety. You got sports, you got some news channels, some people do celebrity news. I like the mixture. I really do. I really enjoy it. Yes, I watch redirecting. Yes, I do. I've been watching them for years. Yes. Very good channel, very informative, good information. I've even watched some of their Saturday Shabbat videos, their lessons that they do. I even go over there and I watch that periodically. Mm-hmm. Sister Deborah and brother, the Watchman. Yeah, they have an excellent channel. Their channel is really good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I've been watching them, man, it's been a long time. You know, when I first came on YouTube, I think I didn't find them right away, but eventually, you know, in time I did. Probably maybe like a year after I came onto YouTube, I found them and I've been watching them. They have, you know, like I said, they have really good content. I watched the Whiteout series. Yes, I have, Jet Black. Well, Black Cobra, Ninja 5, you should start a channel. You should. I mean, we need more voices out here. I think we should, you know, bring it out. Put your voice out there. That's the best thing you can do. hmm Danielle, you said, have I ever heard of bitter Jacob plant or bush? Yes. hmm Kente, you know, I am a black person, whether you like it or not. Some of y'all just like to keep shit going, and you just sound like one of those people that want to just keep some shit going. You're going to have to go somewhere else for that. You know what? I don't have to fake the funk about who I am. If I had two black parents, I can't be nothing but black. And I've showed pictures of my parents and I've showed pictures of myself. So you can take your shit show somewhere else. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. And, you know, we'll come together and do this again because there are a couple of topics I do want to talk about. And I will dig those out. So, over the next couple of days, we can get into a lot of things going on in the community. I don't know if any of you heard, but a white supremacist group went marching through Philly, and the people over there ran their asses out. And I was looking at it, I was like, they should have known better than to march in the heart of Philly. I don't know what the hell they were thinking. So, you know, we'll just take a look at those things and other topics that I have, you know, right now. I'm just stockpiling right now so I can do videos on. So, everybody, please enjoy the rest of your day. And please, wherever you are, stay cool. I hope you're not going through a heat wave like we are once again. hmm Yeah, a police escort. Yeah, them people will. I knew them folks in Philly was not going to go for that white supremacy crap. I knew they weren't. I'm not surprised about the outcome of them getting chased out. All right, y'all. Take care. Shalom.